Welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel match preview. Manchester United versus Everton in the FA Cup. Are we all aboard that bus going to Wembley? Let us know if you think we can win it or at least get to Wembley in the comments below. Tony, you kick us off with your thoughts on this one.
Well, you know, getting to Wembley, that'd be nice. But hey, at the moment, we're in great form. We've just come off the back of three Premier League wins. We beat Burnley in the Cup. We also, before the World Cup, we had that Fulham. We are flying. The thing is, this is the FA Cup, and I'm expecting lots of changes for the United side. I expect, to be honest, Maguire and Lindelof to stay where they are. I want Martinez on the bench. Come on, he's had a hard, long World Cup. So I think he needs still to be rested. Shaw, I want him to have a rest. I think he's been playing well. He's had the World Cup as well. But I think he needs a break. So Malacia to come in there. That's how I look at it. There's a couple of other players. I want Rashford out. I want him on the bench. Okay? There is bigger things to come. There are bigger things to come. If you look at the lineup, you can put Garnacho up there, Martial and Anthony. That's not a problem against this Everton side. So Christian Eriksen, I think he's been used too much. So I think he needs a break. And the FA Cup game against Everton is ideal for that break for him. I think he's been used straight away, too much in my opinion, okay? Doesn't need this, and he could do with a break. Now then, going against the Everton side...
Dad, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I know Everton have, won one game in the last 10 Premier League games.
Yeah, they're rubbish.
Listen, we'll get on to Everton shortly, but I think you're better off putting your strongest side out. I agree with Maguire and Lindelof. You know, start them. You know, let's rest for around. We've got bigger games coming up in the next couple of weeks. But I think Marcus Rashford, he's a constant, like we said the other night, scoring goals. I think try and start with your strongest team. You know, especially up front with your firepower, who are going to get you goals, you know, and then take them off in the 60th minute if you can, if the game's already won. Then give them the last, 20 minutes, half an hour rest. But I don't think we should take it that easy, because I think too many changes, it might give off the wrong mentality throughout the starting 11, that this is going to be a breeze, it's going to be easy. And like you said before, it's the FA Cup, it's not the Premier League. Everton's minds might be off what's been going on, and they might just go for it, and they might sneak a few goals, Tony. You never know.
Well, I look at it this way. The team what's going to go out there, right, all know the job. I mentioned it in the last video. Each player what comes in knows exactly what he's got to do. And to be honest with you, if this Everton side open up, which I expect them to do, because the Premier League, right, is a nightmare for them. So this is a bit of a relief for them. So if they do open up, I expect it to be an exciting game. But United know what to do. They have a plan in each position, whereas Everton is just carnage. I've looked at the couple of games they've played. They went to City, played a back five, and had one shot and scored a goal. Fine, that's what you've got to do when you go to City. But they played at home, back four, and got absolutely thrashed, which has been going on too long for Everton. They are a very poor side. So we can experiment, we can give players a rest, and we can go for it, get them on the break if they want to come out. If they come out and attack United, then they're done for, absolutely done for. This is the worst Everton side I've ever seen, ever. And I'm being honest there, it is the worst Everton side. But it's the FA Cup, and I expect an exciting game, because Everton have got nothing to lose here, because they're not going to win the FA Cup. They're not going to go that far in it, right? But they can have a game where they can just get the Premier League woes out of the way and enjoy themselves. And in the end, they can experiment. That's how I see it. But I see an exciting game.
Yeah, no, well, if you're looking back on the City game where they got the point, you thought it might have been a bit of a turning point for them, but then they went and got absolutely humiliated against Brighton.
Absolutely.
If they come to Old Trafford, Tony, and they do start with a back five, we know Manchester United's history when teams have come and set up at Old Trafford with a brick wall, basically. We've always found it tough to go and get behind them and create a goal or score goals. So hopefully, they do come there with that mentality of like, look, it's the FA Cup. It's one of them, like a free game. Let's go out and enjoy yourselves.
That's right.
Let's try and get a win or just get through, try and get some momentum back, as a squad and as a football club. But I just can't see anything here past the Manchester United win. I think, you look at our past results recently. The last time we conceded a goal in the Premier League was against Arsenal when we beat them. And I think Erik Ten Hag is actually building a fortress here, a tough place for away teams
Oh,
to
yeah,
come.
without a doubt.
Whereas in the last few years, a lot of teams have come to Old Trafford fancying it, coming to Old Trafford, playing exciting football and getting wins. Whereas this year, we've seen a togetherness now at Old Trafford where they're building something and they're all together. And I think he's trying to make it back to what it used to be at Old Trafford where teams were frightened to come in.
Yeah, well, what it is, Ten Hag has got each player what comes on to do a job, and they know what they're doing, and that's why it's a fortress. But Everton, they're going to come, they're going to be open. I hope they're open because it's FA Cup, and we like the FA Cup. We love the FA Cup, and it's got to be open, exciting, entertaining, and attacking. And Everton can't afford to do anything else but that. They've got 9,000 Evertonians coming, okay? And they're not going to be happy at all to see Everton just crumble and not even go for it. It's the FA Cup. They have to experiment. Now, this club, Everton, has been run so poorly. I think Man United fans, at the end of the day, have got nothing to worry about here, about the way we've been run. Yes, we've got all our moans. We know all that. But Everton Football Club is absolutely down in the pits at the moment. Sad to see. Right, sad to see, because I prefer it to be Liverpool.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, all day, every day.
Everton, family club, all that. We know what they're like. It's just a shame. But you ain't going to win at Old Trafford, because the moment you open up, each player at Manchester United know what to do, and Erik Ten Hag's got them the right way.
Well, like you say there, I still think we've got to start with a strongest starting 11.
It's opinions.
Not to give off the wrong vibe to the starting 11, like, this player's coming, fringe play, give that wrong mentality, which, don't get me wrong, I'm sure whoever starts, Ten Hag will be drilling it into him to get the win. And we have kind of seen that from players who have come in to give fresh legs, especially against Bournemouth. They've still got that same mentality, but I'd still like to see the likes of Casemiro start, the likes of Eriksen and Rashford up top start this game. And if we are at 2 or 3 goals up, Tony, let's say in the 60th, 70th minute sort of thing, start pulling them off, giving them the last 20 minutes, 30 minutes rest. Because like you said earlier on, we have got some big games coming up in the league in the next couple of weeks, Man City and Arsenal. So I would like to give them the rest, but I think we've just got to start strong, then pull your players off.
Well, it's about opinions, that FA Cup. That's how it should be. Do you know what I mean? We've both got different opinions.
Yeah, and of course,
on it.
Everyone out there as well, let us know what you think. Who you think should be starting in the starting 11. We've named ours, who we think should start. Lindelof and Maguire, I do agree with.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Malacia, I think Shaw does need a break.
Here's one for you. Delo come on got some minutes the other night against Bournemouth. Does he start in this one to get some minutes going into that the City and Arsenal game as well?
I think what you look at with Delo, I think you leave Delo on the bench, bring him on in the second half, keep Aaron Wan-Bissaka there, right? Aaron Wan-Bissaka has played every game lately, and he has done well, right? But still needs a break. But Delo needs the match fitness, building up going forward. Because if anything happens to one of them right backs at the moment, and we still don't know, right, if Aaron Wan-Bissaka's staying.
Yeah.
I mean, before Christmas, it was all Aaron Wan-Bissaka's out. We've said it loads
Wolves,
of times.
Crystal Palace interested.
But the thing is he going to bring anyone in as a cover for Delo at the moment? It doesn't look as though he's going to do that. Aaron Wan-Bissaka looks as though, to me, he's staying till the end of the year, which is good, because he has done well, and you've got to give him the praise.
What do you think on the right-hand side, though, with Anthony? He said he was injured against Bournemouth, but I did see him on pictures and on videos back in training on Wednesday. So you're expecting him to start on this one, FA Cup?
Yep, I'm expecting Anthony to start. I think the criticism he's been receiving is unfair. He's played a few games. He's not been here that long. He's been to the World Cup. I love Anthony, and I think he will improve. And I think the criticism is going way too far.
Yeah, considering how long he's been here, he's still a young lad. Ten Hag knows his potential, what he's going to be able to give in the future. And I'm fully supportive of him. Yeah, his performances recently haven't been the standard of what we've been expecting. Some of them have been poor. Some of the simple balls he should be giving out, they're just not finding the man at this. So, but I'm sure he'll be training hard on the training ground, and there's something that I see on the pitch of him. He's always giving 100%. He's tracking back. He's helping his right back. He's getting forward. The work rate's there. So I'm happy with him at the moment. If that was to die off, Tony, it's a totally different conversation we have. But you can see the lad wants to improve. So I'm happy for him to start against Everton. And hopefully he does find something there in this game as well, Tony, like an assist or even grab a goal as well.
Listen, 3-2 is my score prediction, and Anthony will score the third one.
Yeah, also David De Gea as well. There was news on him, Montesona, about receiving a new contract, but I don't think it's an improved contract though.
It's not an improved contract, right? But it's a contract what David De Gea says he'll be happy with soon.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's a reduction in wages, but he's happy with that, and quite rightly so, because he's on an absolute fortune.
Yeah, right, few quid. And with Massimo Taibi going back to Newcastle, it looks like we're getting Jack Butland from Crystal Palace.
I think that's for 6 months, but that's the only thing what's coming in, just an exchange of loan player, that's all.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. We don't expect big signings. We've said time and time again, we don't think there's any money in the kitty. But a few loan players, a lone striker, let's see what happens.
Yeah, FA Cup. I'm sure a lot of you out there are looking forward to this one. Obviously, you've heard us today discussing the starting 11, team selection, all that good stuff. Let us know what you think, because it's a bit of a tricky one for me and Tony to discuss and agree on. So let me know what you think. And yeah, let us know what your score predictions are as well. What have you gone with?
Me, 3-2.
3-2. Scoring game.
Come on.
I don't know.
Come on. What do you mean you don't know? You've just said a minute ago and asked them, are they going to win the FA Cup, do you think, and all that? So that means we've got to win.
Yeah, but I'm asking the viewers what they think as
what
well.
Do you think
get
first?
Everyone else involved as well. I think 2-0 Manchester United.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-0. But I was pressured on that one. That I need to think. But yeah, before we go, though, got a little clip here for you from when we was doing a live on the 28th of November. Tony was discussing his best mate, Frank Lampard.
And there's 3 teams I'm looking for what could sack the managers, which have been great delight to me and probably lots of other fans out there, right? And it's Everton, number 15. Frank Lampard, after this World Cup's finished, if he doesn't get this team working right and he plays in the FA Cup and gets beat, I'm telling you, he could get the sack. I've been listening to Evertonians, and Evertonians have now turned against Frank Lampard. They've turned in against the club. They want changes, but the problem with Everton is they make too many changes and they've no long-term plan. So that's why I'm looking at Everton.
Sean Dyche. I think he'd do a great job there, mate, at Everton.
Well, Sean's available. He has mentioned it and he's ready in January. Trust me.
Number 15.
Everton. There you go.
Frank Lampard, your man, who you want sacked.
We can get him sacked. I couldn't ask for a better draw. Frank Lampard comes to Old Trafford and he gets sacked. Can't wait for it. And the Everton fans will be singing and demanding he gets sacked when we thrash him.
Hope you enjoyed that one. Smash that like button, subscribe if you like our content, and we'll be back straight after the game with Tony's match reaction. So make sure you tune in there. Thank you.